In the wake of what has become known as Goonergate, the director behind Final Fantasy Rebirth has made a rather odd request of its player base. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and yeah, if you hadn't heard, ahead of game's PC release, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director asked modders not to create or install anything offensive or inappropriate. Homie, I don't think he understands how the internet works. The moment you tell somebody or a group of folks, especially online, not to do something, literally the first thing they're going to do is to do it. And to be fair, even if he had not made this request, we all knew these mods were coming, and there's nothing that's gonna stop it. Like, let's call it what it is. I'm not even saying, like whether you're a prude or whether you're all in on Goonergate and want every single video game to be like Stellar Blade. The nude Tifa mod's gonna come. The nude Aerith mod's gonna come. Let's be real. The nude Cloud mod's gonna come. And, yeah, of course, Nexus mod's definitely gonna allow those, not get those banned whatsoever. So, this is an insane ask and just goes to show that Square Enix, like Nintendo, probably like most Japanese corporations, are a bit behind the times when it comes to the way the internet works. So we're going to get into this article. Before we do, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. And just wanted to say thank you to my boy Spencer Bakuli for dropping this on us, because it's going to be good. And making a request that even he must admit has absolutely zero real chance of ever being honored. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director Naoki Yamaguchi has asked players to err away from engaging with offensive or inappropriate mods when the game finally hits the PC platform early next year. Now, remember, this is not a mod. This image you're looking at of Tifa and Aerith looking oh so fine in their bikinis on the beach scene, because every good JRPG and or anime needs a beach episode or portion of the game. This was in the game itself. You're just tempting your players. They want to know what it's like underneath this frilly little bikini here, underneath this admittedly not so great bikini that Aerith is wearing. Sorry, Aerith. I'm actually Team Aerith over Tifa, and I know that's going to get a lot of shade from those of you watching, but she's a nice gal. But again, no shade to Tifa. Love them both. I mean, can't you have multiple waifus? The point is, look, when you put something like this in your game, knowing how rabid fanboys love their waifus, this ask literally is like asking the sun not to rise in the east or set in the west. Hamaguchi, who served as the co-director for Final Fantasy VII Remake before being promoted to his current role following the stepping down of Tetsuya Nomura as the series director, R.I.P. Tetsuya Nomura. I mean, he's not dead, just, man, Nomura knew what was up, as the series director, made his appeal during a recent interview with Epic Games regarding Rebirth's upcoming PC release. Following a lengthy discussion revolving around the technical aspects of the port and his thoughts on the remake trilogy story, the director was eventually asked by his host, Fight Magic Items, The History of Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and the Rise of Japanese RPGs in the West, author Aiden Mower, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and take a wild guess that Aiden Moore has a particular thought or stance on the culture war of those on a particular side of the aisle ideologically when it comes to Gamergate and video games. Now, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know. All these games journalists are kind of the same, so it leads me to make that assumption. Pattern recognition's a thing and all. As to whether Rebirth would be as mod-friendly as the previous remake, with the extensive capabilities of fan modding tool 7th Heaven being raised as an example of the customization fans were hoping for. And, I'm gonna be real, I have not played, well, it's not out yet, so of course I haven't played it on PC, so I don't know that we're looking at a mod in this image here, or if we're looking at something that was in the original game, because I don't have a PS5, and frankly, I'm so disappointed with how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth story went after watching Hypno play through on his streams. I mean, I might get the game just so I can say I've played it, but it might be better to play with mods, not even for any sexification purposes, but maybe there'll be modders out there that will change the story and the way the events unfold to make it more akin to the original Final Fantasy VII, which is what we wanted to see remade, but that's a whole different can of worms. I'll get to that on a different video. In turn, Ambiguity affirmed more and his readers, while the team has no plans for official in-game mod support, we respect the creativity of the modding community and welcome their creations. Though we ask modders not to create or install anything offensive or inappropriate. Now, I'm truly curious what he does find offensive and inappropriate. I'm not even being facetious when I say this, because somebody like me would find trans flags all over the game to be offensive and inappropriate. I don't think that children who, are very good with technology and computers nowadays, and will probably be playing this game, should be modding in or seeing mods that just transify up the entire game. So, what? Are you talking about nude mods? You talking about bigger breastises? You talking about increased jiggle physics? What is? Or maybe you're squeamish about gore and you don't want to see just insane amounts of blood and guts when Cloud be coming in with the Buster Sword. Maybe that's what you mean. I don't want to immediately jump to the sexual because it could mean a whole lot of things. For example, decapitations, the portrayal of decapitations, that's illegal in Japan. That would very much be offensive or inappropriate if that was modded into the game, so maybe that's what he means. And though the director and his team currently have no plans to add any future content to the PC release of Rebirth, whether in form of official mod support or an episodic story as new DLC, the latter of which he admits was ultimately unrealized due to time constraints, he did admit that if we receive strong requests from players after the release regarding certain matters, we would like to consider them. Well, you've been getting strong requests from players to honor the original Final Fantasy, which you're not doing, but again, I'm not going to harp on that too terribly much. Interestingly, Ambiguity is but the second Final Fantasy series developer to make such a request in recent months. Ooh, bingo, bango, bongo. I didn't hear about this. I'm interested. Let's go. Fielding a question from PC gamers. Okay, coming from PC gamer, you know this bitch awoke. You know this bitch. Again, I had not heard of the original individual, and maybe he actually does have a head on his shoulders and knows what's going on with the culture war, and is going to be on the correct side of gaming history. But when it comes to PC Gamer been writing some of the most insane articles. Dare I say, they are worse than Kotaku, and I truly mean that. So when you see Molly Taylor from PC Gamer, you know this is going to be good. Molly Taylor originally meant for Final Fantasy XVI director Hiroshi Takai regarding which goofy mods, if any, he would like to see players make for the game's PC release, and producer Naoki Yoshida asserted, if we said it'd be great if someone made XYZ, it might come across as a request, so I'll avoid mentioning any specifics here. Okay, this is somebody that does actually sound like they understand the internet, because anything he says will immediately get made by fanboys. He could say, replace the Chocobos with the Lizard from Spider-Man, and gamers can be like, oh, he's a Spider-Man fan? Let's do it. Like, people are rabid for anything these developers say. Video game developers, or at least when it comes to those in the East, are practically rock stars to the hardcore gamers that just support these games, buy these games. So, yeah, he probably made the right call. The only thing I will say is that we definitely don't want to say anything offensive or inappropriate, he added, so please don't make or install anything like that. And of course, I'm sure they still did or are doing. Again, Final Fantasy 16 is not something that I've played yet. I really want to, but, man, thinking on it, I haven't played a Final Fantasy game since 15, and I know folks hate 15, but I kind of love it. I really do. I played 15 on the PS4. I got it on the PC. I'm a supporter of Final Fantasy 15, but even I never did any sort of mod support for my PC version of Final Fantasy 15. I might have to look into that. This video got me inspired. I can promise y'all, no nude male mods. I don't give a fuck about not this schlong. Ultimately, while Ambiguity, Yoshida, and other developers are free to ask their fans to avoid the creation of such offensive mods, the internet is the internet. See? Spence knows what's up. The internet gonna internet, been doing it since 1992 or earlier. You folks gotta get with the program, and there's very little anyone can do to stem the work of fan creations, unless you're Nexus mods and you got a certain political belief and you will ban anything and everything that goes against that ideological holding you have. Nexus mods, you loser pieces of shit. In other words, if someone wants to see Tifa in a skimpier bikini than her Coastal del Sol offering, they will damn sure find a way to make that happen. At current, the long-awaited PC release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is currently on track to bring the fight to Shinra on January 23rd, 2020. 2025. It is coming out on my ex-wife's birthday, and let me tell you, this sounds like a much better way to spend my time and money than anything relating to getting her a gift or whatnot. But jokes aside, I do find it funny and hilarious that they are like, they're aware enough of the internet and the way the internet works that they will make this statement, but not so aware that making the statement will of course generate the sort of content they probably don't want to see affiliated with the game. Japan is so behind the times. Take a look at any anime content creation channel, whether it be people reviewing Dragon Ball or One Piece. I mean, Japan and Toei Animation and companies like that are so banhammer happy and will do anything and everything to just shut your shit down because they don't have a concept of free use. They don't understand the free market of ideas. But if these sorts of mods would increase sales of the game, which, let's be real, you got the opportunity to see Tifa nude, it probably going to increase the sale of the game. Installing mods is pretty damn easy. Your best course of action is to keep your mouth shut. I actually think that the second dude that they covered in this article had the right idea by saying, you know what, if I say anything, it's going to make folks think that I want to see it, so I'll just abstain. But then he still said don't make anything inappropriate, which just like, bro, you should have quit while you were ahead. And that's where we're at with this. The Japanese, while I love JRPGs, while I love Japanese media, anime, video games, whatever it may be, they've got a very skewed sense of the way culture works, the culture war in general, anime, and really of the Western audience. I mean, Square Enix themselves said they want to start gearing their products more towards a global audience as opposed to a Japanese one, not knowing that the fact that it's intrinsically Japanese is why the American audience, and frankly probably most of their overseas audience, is geared towards it. But as long as these individuals are going to continue to not understand the internet can continue to just take advantage of them. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. Not always about the video game scene, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles we go over on a day-to-day basis, contribute to the conversation when I interview people on the Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 150 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further, because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.